There is nothing on this earth more to be prized than true friendship. Better to illuminate than merely to shine, to deliver to others contemplated truths, than merely to contemplated truths, than merely to contemplate. To one who has faith, no explanation is necessary. To one without faith, no explanation is possible. Every judgment of conscience, be it right or wrong, be it about things evil in themselves or morally indifferent, is obligatory in such wise that he who acts against his conscience always sins. Love takes up where knowledge leaves off. Beware of the person of one book. If the highest aim of a captain were to preserve his ship, he would keep it in port forever. Faith has to do with things that are not seen, and hope with things that are not at hand. The things that we love tell us what we are if. Then, you are looking for the way by which you should go. Take Christ, because he himself is the way. 3 things are necessary for the salvation of man: to know what he ought to believe, to know what he ought to believe, to know what he ought to desire, and to know what he ought to do. To bear with patience wrongs done to oneself is a mark of perfection. But to bear with patience wrongs done to someone else is a mark of imperfection and even of actual sin. Good can exist without evil, whereas evil cannot exist without good. To live well is to work well, to show a good activity. Man cannot live without joy. Therefore, when he is deprived of true spiritual joys, it is necessary that he become addicted to carnal pleasures. A man has free choice to the extent that he is rational. Friendship is the source of the greatest pleasures, and without friends, even the most agreeable pursuits become tedious. As regards the individual nature, woman is defective and misbegotten, for the active power of the male seed tends to the production of a perfect likeness in the masculine sex, while the production of a woman comes from defect in the active power. Because philosophy arises from awe, a philosopher is bound in his way to be a lover of myths and poetic fables. Poets and philosophers are alike in being big with wonder. Law is nothing other than a certain ordinance of reason for the common good, promulgated by the person who has the care of the community. Human salvation demands the divine disclosure of truths surpassing reason. All the efforts of the human mind cannot exhaust the essence of a single fly. Sorrow can be alleviated by good sleep, a bath, and a glass of wine. Happiness is secured through virtue. It is a good attained by man's own will. Reason in man is rather like God in the world. Whatever is received according to the nature of the recipient. Temperance is simply a disposition of the mind which binds the passion. If forgers and malefactors are put to death by the secular power, there is much more reason for excommunicating and even putting to death one convicted of heresy. There is but one church in which men find salvation, just as outside the Ark of Noah, it was not possible for anyone to be saved. Love is a binding force by which another is joined to me and cherished by myself. Because of the diverse conditions of humans, it happens that some acts are virtuous to some people, as appropriate and suitable to them, while the same acts are immoral for others, as inappropriate to them. That the saints may enjoy their beatitude and the grace of God more abundantly, they are permitted to see the punishment of the damned in hell. The principal act of courage is to endure and withstand dangers, doggedly rather than to attack them. Well-ordered self, love is right and natural. The test of the artist does not lie in the will with which he goes to work, but in the excellence of the work he produces. Justice is a certain rectitude of mind, whereby a man does what he ought to do in the circumstances confronting him. The knowledge of God is the cause of things. For the knowledge of God is to all creatures what the knowledge of the artificer is to things made by his art.